On this Hadassah Shabbat, I'm certainly happy and excited to welcome Kathy O'Neill to deliver our sermon this evening. Kathy is a proud member not only of Agudas Achim, but also Shabbat, of Agudas Achim and Hadassah. It is also Shabbat. It's also been a long day. With that being said, you don't have to listen to me mumble. You're welcome to listen to Kathy. Delighted to share the bima with her this evening.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Rabbi Hodson, and members of Agudas Achim for welcoming the members and friends of the San Antonio chapter of Hadassah. This week is Shabbat Parah, a special Shabbat marking the beginning of preparation for Pesach already. We will read Parshat Vayakhel on Shabbat morning with a different maftir and haftorah. Our Torah portion begins with Moses assembling the whole Israelite community and repeating God's commandment to observe Shabbat. Then Moses says that God has commanded everyone, men and women, whose hearts move them, to take gifts to the Lord to build the tabernacle. Moses goes on to say that the people whose hearts move them will use their skills to make everything that the Lord has commanded for the tabernacle. The outpouring of donations was far more than was needed, and Moses commands the people to stop. The rest of the portion details the work to be done to build the tabernacle, its furniture, and all of the items inside. The Torah portion specifically mentions that both men and women contributed and participated. Hadassah Shabbat is usually celebrated on Shabbat Zachor, the Shabbat before Purim, because our founding was at Purim time, and our name honors Queen Esther. So as I prepared this Devar Torah, I wanted to find a connection between this Torah portion and Hadassah. So I went back to our amazing founder, Henrietta Zold, who inspired Jewish women to give gifts from their hearts. Most members of Hadassah have heard the story that Henrietta Zold visited Palestine in 1909, when the area was still under the rule of the Ottoman Empire. Already an ardent Zionist, she was shocked by the brutal reality that she encountered. Most of the Jewish inhabitants lived in abject poverty. Sanitation was virtually non-existent. Disease, including eye disease trachoma, was widespread. The maternal death rate was 50%. Henrietta wanted to change this desperate situation. Brilliant and highly educated, Henrietta's expertise was in the world of Jewish writing. Although her title was secretary, she actually worked as the editor and translator of the Jewish Publication Society. So it makes sense that Henrietta would start with her women's study group. With them, she founded Hadassah in 1912 with the urgent mission of addressing health care in Palestine. They started small, sending 2 nurses to Palestine in 1914. Henrietta Zold worked to create new Hadassah chapters in multiple cities at once and increase the membership to raise the money needed for their work in Palestine. So in 1914, Henrietta Zold visited San Antonio and organized a chapter of Hadassah. It didn't last, but in 1917, the chapter was reorganized when Henrietta Zold visited again. Leah Gut, who was married to a charter member of Agudas Achim, then served as chapter president for 17 years, and we're still here. Hadassah is proud of its long history in Texas and in the United States. Under the leadership of Henrietta Zold and with the donations and support of Jewish women in America, Hadassah set up clinics and hospitals in pre-state Israel and created the infrastructure for the modern healthcare system in the state of Israel. Every time there has been a crisis or a war, Hadassah has been there, working to protect and heal the people of Israel. Since the October 7th attacks and the war that followed, Hadassah has only intensified its efforts to support Hadassah's hospitals and youth Aliyah villages. Large capacity emergency rooms were added to the hospital at Ein Kerem. The Division of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry worked around the clock to help traumatized children. From the second day of the war, they streamed webinars to doctors, social workers, and therapists to help them give parents the tools they needed to help their traumatized children. They manned hotlines and crisis intervention clinics, met over Zoom, and went in person to kibbutzim to conduct interventions. Israel's wounded soldiers and civilians are in urgent need of rehabilitation services, so Hadassah opened the Gondel Rehabilitation Center on Mount Scopus earlier than scheduled. This center offers a host of innovative treatments, and the center also houses a PTSD center and rehabilitation for neurological problems. Hadassah continues to support Youth Aliyah to house and educate immigrant and at-risk children from Israel and the world. The Meir Shafea Youth Village dedicated a psychological therapy center last year. At the Hadassah Narim Youth Village, a spacious redesigned emergency shelter was opened. Here in the United States, Hadassah has been an outspoken advocate. Just a few months ago, during the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, Hadassah and other groups took the lead to call on the Secretary General and other UN leaders to take action against sexual violence. Hadassah and Associates have also advocated for gender equity in medical research, reproductive choice, and other issues. They have spoken out strongly against anti-Semitism. Author Sherry Mandel, writing in Hadassah magazine, asked, "What is Hadassah?" It's a community of people connected not only by our love of Israel and our heritage, but also by our need to give, to take action to ensure a strong state of Israel and the Jewish people. Hadassah continues to move the hearts of people to give and contribute to the healing of all people in body and spirit. I know that whatever challenges lie ahead for Israel and the Jewish people, Hadassah will continue to be there. In these days, may all of us, our family and friends in Israel, the United States, other parts of the world, and all of our sisters in Hadassah go from strength to strength. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.